Torch was denied his bank loan. Uh, yeah, fuck, cunt, whisper, whisper, Willy,
Oh shit, bastard. There we go.
pachinko. Uh,
I can't wait for the day where we record that and forget to fix it.
we won't, because we're gonna do some editing. Uh,
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
or someone actually listens to these live ones and just realizes we do a lot of courses before things we couldn't.
yeah. We just get it out of us.
Okay, well, okay.
Oh,
I'm just
uh,
gonna start on three, will I? Or is there something you need to get out of the way?
I'm just seeing here the Avatar comics are. Oh, they've been gone with ages. They're just advertised here. That's all.
Yeah, no, that there you go for ages.
Yeah.
There's been
Yeah.
some form of Avatar comic for quite a while.
Yeah. Should have been
Um,
following it. But anyway.
at least Shabir is able to get the image stuff now. That's which is like
Yeah. They.
reopens a few interesting avenues for reviews.
Yeah. I'll probably try and catch up with them this weekend.
Yeah,
Pitch plant and fade out for one.
yeah. But okay. I'm gonna give it a three count and then start.
Yeah.
One, two, three. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Nevermind the Buzzcast. Just the two-hander this week. You've got me, Stephen, and we've got Evan. Hello, Evan.
Yay! Hello.
Yay! And we haven't got anybody else.
No, no, no.
Oh.
Just
No,
me.
how's it been going for the last week? Have you been up to much?
Pretty good.
Uh,
Busy away with work, all that. The usual crack with me.
Not much chance to do anything, see any movies or do any reading or anything.
What I have been doing, which I never thought I would do, it's at the insistence of a coworker, was to finally play Mass Effect 3.
Ah,
Yeah. So I did
you haven't
not
got to
see.
the disappointing ending apparently. That's
No,
the
but
only
I
thing
didn't
I've heard
get.
about Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, but
I'm
it
not
was
even a
also.
gamer, and I heard people are, the ending. Uh,
Yeah, but I downloaded the extended edition like
which
free
goes, that
DLC,
wasn't
so
really
it
the
shouldn't be
ending.
so bad.
Diddle-doo, diddle-doo, diddle-doo. Uh,
But
it just is.
that's why I didn't get much sleep last night.
Yeah,
I got a bit stuck in it, which is my own fault. So I'm gonna try
yeah.
to let you sleep tonight.
So that's about it. You haven't got up to much else.
Not much else. I think comic wise, nothing new since last week. I think. Oh, I was telling you about this. I watched Darkman,
Yeah,
and I understand why it's a cult film.
yeah. No, no. It's by no means very normal good. It's very
Yeah,
odd good. It's
I had fun watching it.
yeah.
It was bizarre seeing Liam Neeson in it, like as kind of a B-list actor of the time.
Yeah,
Although
no,
yeah, there's
he hadn't hit Schindler's List though at that
he
point,
hadn't done Schindler's List, no, and he was just this
and
big like fluffy mop of hair.
yeah, and but he does come off as intimidating even when he's doing his basically Dark Knight Man turns into a complete nutcase.
Yeah. I just like I laughed so hard. Not even at the elephant thing, which we can't reproduce unfortunately, but that
Yeah,
whole lead up to that scene
yeah,
where it's just all terrible, terrible special effects.
yeah.
And
I was
it's
like every
like
time he gets mad, there's an explosion in the
I know
background.
it
It's
was
just
like
the
it was like something out of a Saturday morning anime or something
yeah.
like that. And just
Talking to the cat in his laboratory and everything.
yeah. Hello, friend. Rio. I was actually kind of expecting like a proto comic book film, but I was actually surprised. It's definitely more a kind of horror film tragedy kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like Phantom of the Opera meets The Crow
Exactly, yeah. Phantom
or
of the
something.
Opera. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah, it definitely owes a lot to that. But really good makeup effects as well. Really
yeah,
good. Like that's a really cool mask he had on.
yeah. And what was it? We saw Brucey Campbell at the end.
Yeah, I laughed at that too.
Yeah,
I knew it was coming, and I was like, okay, I'll keep an eye out for him. And then he's front and center. I'm like, ah, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, like, and also he's kind of the main character at the end as well.
Yeah,
But if you see Darkman, you'll know what we're talking about.
yeah. Go
but
watch it. It's an interesting film. Like it's
I don't know,
not
and it
gory
has all the
either.
good things about Sam Raimi. He has usually like really nice camera, into camera work, like lots of very um, uh, interesting characters. It's got Francis McDormand in it as well. And is Sam Neill in that one, or am I thinking of someone else?
I don't. I don't
Training
remember seeing him. For
kind
all I
of.
know, he was in it, but I just didn't notice him anyway.
What's that?
For all I know, he was in it. I didn't notice him though.
I don't think so. I think I'm thinking of someone else that just kind of reminds me of him.
But the guy with one leg was just so stupid. Like good kind of stupid. Like
Yeah.
it was just so funny. Because you have a guy with a wooden leg
Hmm.
to conceal a gun, and the other guy just goes crazy with the gun, and the guy with one leg just has to hop there for a while.
Yeah.
That was very crazy.
That's the it is kind of comic booky in that way. You can get away with loads of
Yeah.
stuff like that in comics, where it will look out of place.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
know, you don't have to make it really jokey in a comic to do something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
It
they
can
had
just be cool.
they
You
had
know,
the prerequisite like yuppie bad guy as well
yeah.
to stand
Se-
in for
Seemed to
Reaganomics.
be a thing in like late '80s, early '90s from
Yeah,
RoboCop on.
it was kind of like Steve Jobs today, the Steve Jobs figure. Everyone's kind of aping that kind of personality
Oh
in
no,
their
actually,
villains.
do you remember Antitrust with hey? I want to say no, it was Ryan Philippe.
No, wait.
There was this like it was basically like if Bill Gates was trying to kill small business IT businesses illegally rather than the proper way he did it. If he was doing it through antitrust suits and like
Yeah,
not giving up as open code and whatever, uh, and being like doing underhand dealings in order to continue being a monopoly.
yeah,
Uh, and basically, this young guy comes into his business and gets taken under his wing, but then finds out and tries to it's a thriller based on that,
yeah.
and oh, I can't remember the player, the one that was married to Susan Sarandon. Uh,
I don't know.
well, either way, that guy played basically an evil version of Bill
Bill
Gates.
Gates, yeah.
I was
And then
like
there was
so much that he had the glasses and he always had the sweaters on, and
yeah,
I
and
was
then
like,
there was yeah, yeah.
but there were it wasn't a great film, but I saw it for free because I was working at a cinema at the time.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I wasn't bothered.
Fair enough.
Luckily, that's how I saw Pearl Harbor as well. So, uh, but speaking of films, this the reason why we're doing this on a Wednesday night when we could sometimes do it on a Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
Is that I was lucky enough to win tickets to tomorrow night's premiere, of The Martian.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard good things so far anyway.
Oh no, but yeah, no. There's been some early reviews over the last couple of days,
Yeah.
and
I'm
they're saying good things. They're saying
I'm glad to hear that.
this
I
won't
just
be as
thought that
disappointing as Interstellar. It's basically what they're saying.
that'd be hard.
Confusing,
That'd be hard.
but
Interstellar wasn't even that bad, but it was so disappointing though.
yeah, yeah. Well, I haven't actually seen it because it's kind of put me off, and I, some, I think if I'm not interested in the concept that much and I get so much bad word from it, sometimes I find Nolan
Yeah.
a bit drone on a bit.
He's definitely not like the golden boy he used to be anyway.
Well, it's not that I don't like his stuff. It's just like all his stuff is really drawn out.
Yeah?
As like so, if I hear it's not gonna good or the premise doesn't hit me, like I'm not gonna rush to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Inception sounded like a great idea. That's fierce clever. You know,
Yeah.
that's that. But the Interstellar just sounded like they did all the wrong things in what was a basically okay idea.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Like it was all his kind of worst habits just like came through a bit too clear.
mm. And one thing I did see on Saturday was American Ultra, and that's one of those movies that's gonna sleek by and everybody's gonna love it later on. I think
Yeah.
because it's actually a really I do say have you heard about it? Basically,
I'd say you mentioned it to me before, but I
basically
haven't.
got this stoner that finds out he's a
Oh
sleeper.
yeah,
And
yeah, Jesse Eisenberg and
yeah,
your one from Kristen Stewart.
yeah, and
Yeah, yeah.
Topher Grace is in there as well as the kind of bad guy behind
Of
everything.
course, of course.
Uh, but basically, he doesn't remember being trained or anything like that. So he's
Yeah,
still this stoner, sweet, Freddy Cat stoner that all of a sudden knows how to do kung fu and knows everything about guns and
yeah, yeah. I saw the trailers for that, and I was like, okay, this actually looks kind of fun. Like,
it was written by that lad Max Landis again,
oh
John
yeah,
Landis' son, but the guy that the same guy that did Chronicle.
yeah.
He has his own YouTube channel. He does things about superheroes a lot, actually.
Max
Uh,
Landis.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's really into superhero comics, and he's written a few Superman comics,
Oh, okay.
and he's got another one coming up, I think, a Superman, and he's done a few videos on superheroes and some videos on wrestling as well.
Yeah.
So not the older
Oh,
stuff like
did he do wrestling? Isn't wrestling?
uh, I think so, yeah. Was
Yeah,
that the one with the
I
girls
actually,
taking all the male roles?
yeah, I actually
That,
saw
that
that the
that's
other night.
his one, yeah.
I kind of, I only realized the name when you were saying that. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that. All right.
So he's done loads of things like he basically acted out him and his mates acted out the the an abridged version of the Death of Superman storyline.
Yeah,
The original one. I don't
I
know if
might
they've
check
done
out
one
more
since.
of his stuff now. Actually, 'cause
Yeah.
that's yeah,
Well,
like
he came. He was on this show that they have like geek debates and they decide who wins. I can't remember what it's called, but if I ever get the link to you, it's basically and one of the rounds was him to come up with a better Superman two, Superman Man of Steel two,
yeah,
and he came up with an awesome version that involves Batman and everything. It's like that would work completely, and
yeah,
even like it's like even works with the first movie, like
yeah,
so it's like but yeah, no, and other than that, just been reading a few things for review, trying to catch up with Atomic Robo.
yeah,
Um, what did I read? Yeah, I've read that they're not like us. I'm still having trouble thinking that how that's going. I don't know if I don't like it or just don't know what it's doing. Uh,
yeah.
have you heard of that one?
What?
It's basically like trying to be a real dark version of X Men, where these kids are basically used. These like super powered kids that come out of nowhere are used by more powerful versions of them
Yeah,
and the first they're anti-establishment. The guys that are using them make them really anti-establishment. Then they just like to beat up people and stuff like that, and they should have different rules and everything. But then they kind of escape, and I don't know if it's going where it's going after that. So I did review it, but I just don't know what it's trying to do. So I'm not going to comment on it anymore. It's like
yeah.
you can
Just
only say I don't know what's happening here.
yeah.
I don't know what to
You
think
might,
on the review so many times.
yeah.
Um, but
That's
yeah,
yeah, that's kind of a thing like against it at times. You can't have a comic that you have to save everything like for later. You kind of need some tidbits here and there just to like make your audience realize that there is something going on here. You can't just leave it all on the long finger.
mm,
That's what I found anyway.
but I did watch the new episode of Gotham yesterday,
Really?
and
Wow.
uh, wow,
You and three other people.
apparently it's done fairly well in America, but not as well as it did last season.
Yeah.
which is not that surprising. But I think it's gone in a very less serious direction than it had, but it's definitely picked a direction. You
Yeah.
know, it was all over the place, not knowing what it's doing. So basically, there's the Gordon and the cops are still trying to fight corruption, and there will be more good guy cops in there. They've gotten rid of some of the corruption,
Yeah.
and they're also the big bad guy that comes in releases a load of Arkham nut jobs, and they're basically going to wreak havoc on the streets.
Yeah.
So and then there's the whole thing is to see what this new bad guy's deal is. Like a lot of people are saying maybe he's Ra's al Ghul, but it doesn't look like it to me. I think it's more likely either he's a member of the Court of Owls.
Yeah.
They're doing the Court of Owls storyline, or somehow, and this is a long one because I don't get why the character would
Would
want
be
to do
there.
this. Maybe Alberto Falcone,
Yeah.
the holiday killer of the Long Halloween, but I don't think this is his MO. So I'm more leaning towards someone connected to the Court of Owls.
You're actually being a detective yourself now.
What?
You're being a detective about it yourself.
Yeah, well, no, but it they also when they said like this character is like it is a major DC character
Yeah.
behind it. Now they said that. Now they said major and well known. They were giving off that. So even the Court of Owls isn't that well known. I think that Court of Owls is still a real comic book reader characters.
Yeah.
Like they've only had one animated movie, you know,
Yeah.
to be anything other than comic book characters. So I think that's a push, but maybe that's what they meant. Like they are they immediately went up to higher tier of villains. Like
Yeah.
either way, I don't think it's Bane. Uh,
That was the twist all along.
hello, hello, Bruce.
Oh.
You will be the Batman. Yes.
Oh,
You
that being
see
said,
my
I must
credenza. I
rewatch. I
keep
really want to rewatch Fury Road this weekend.
my. Have you seen my credenza? That's where I keep my collector's plates. Anyway,
Like what?
fire.
What?
He said.
Okay, enough of that. Enough of that.
uh, I could always just take this thing on. Just like then put it back on after he just gets something out, and then like because he has breathing problems. It's like, nah. Anyway, but
Okay,
let's get on with things, eh?
I
Uh,
think we're actually less organized when it's just two of us.
I think sometimes even just having James does
Yeah,
like
Chris
because
or
we were
James just
kind of
kind
all
of
over the place when it was just us and Chris as well. Like it's like
we just kind of rein it like James just reins it in a bit.
yeah, by actually saying
It's
things
like
that are not
not
nonsense.
not stupid stuff.
But I'll go into the first story. We'll hit the movie news first.
Yeah.
Um, basically, basically, apparently Greg Berlanti, the guy behind the Flash and Arrow TV series, he is developing a Booster Gold and Blue Beetle movie.
Uh-huh.
Now I don't know where they're going to put this in in their Justice League plans, but he's writing a script, and apparently he did write a TV series for Booster Gold. Now to explain who Booster Gold is,
Yeah, please.
Booster Gold is basically a guy that failed at being a football star in the future, in the 25th in the 25th century,
Yeah.
and he decided to take a lot of his tech to the past,
Yeah.
stolen tech to the past and become a hero in order to become famous. And
Yeah.
he's kind of become like a really really narcissistic hero, but a hero nevertheless. Since
Yeah.
and Blue Beetle is like this character who the Golden Age Blue Beetle is was powered by a mysterious alien scarab,
Uh-huh.
uh, and the he it got lost after he would the second Blue Beetle, which is the one that's most associated with Booster Gold, and the one I'm hoping they're using is Ted Core, the billionaire genius. Like not
Yeah.
unlike what if you've ever seen Arrow or Flash, Ray Palmer is made out to be. It,
Uh-huh.
that role was probably originally written to be the Blue Beetle, but they decided to go with the Atom
Okay.
because the Atom is generally more of just a scientist guy,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
rather than any kind of entrepreneur, businessman.
Like
So
rather than
um,
a Bruce Wayne light.
yeah, but like Blue Beetle's a very much more of a fun character. He's not as dark.
Yeah.
He's funny, especially when paired with Booster Gold. Like they're kind of like a slightly odd couple, but goofy guys. Like they've been friends for ages. Like
Oh,
uh,
okay. Yeah.
and he has like he was actually the Night Owl
Watchmen.
in Watchmen. You see,
Yeah.
what happened there was that DC actually bought out all the old Charlton characters. Charlton was an old comic book cover
Yeah.
company,
Yeah.
and they got like loads of ones like Captain Atom and the Question, and but they were going to make a story with them in it, but they decided just to say, "Oh no, we don't want to do this kind of dark story with these characters. We're going to bring them into the DC universe."
Yeah.
So Blue Beetle was actually like the Blue Beetle before they'd said this would have been the Night Owl character.
Uh-huh.
So much so he does have a beat. He does have a flying beetle for a ship.
Okay. Yeah.
Where the original Golden Age Blue Beetle was actually powered by the Scarab.
Yeah.
He couldn't find it, but he took on the role of Blue Beetle um, in honor of the Golden one, Golden Age Blue Beetle.
Really.
So you're seeing the connection there between the old Night Owl as well,
Yeah.
um, in the Watchmen story. And then there was a new Blue Beetle that where the Scarab came back, and it turned out there was a whole intergalactic war part of it, and the Scarab, the mechanical Scarab, was a weapon, so it was trying to take over the young guy, but he managed to co-opt it into his way around. So the Scarab kind of has its own intelligence going, you know. So so he's worked with Booster Gold as well, but I think the best team up would be Ted Cord, the second Blue Beetle,
Dude.
and because unless they want to go for like the younger guy being the most idealistic, because Jamie Reyes, which was the third Blue Beetle, was like teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and they then also they could go a bit diverse with it as well if they do Jamie Reyes because he's of a Mexican descent. You know. So so they could do it that way. So it looks it will it definitely be a lot more fun than a lot of the DC movies would have to be with these characters.
Yeah.
If it's not going to be like um, Batman versus Superman dark with these two characters at
Yeah.
all, you know. So I hope that comes true.
Sounds
Um,
interesting.
and secondly, we've got Snipes still going at Blade. He's still dropping hints about having talks with Marvel. Uh,
Yeah. Like
yeah, but yeah, the thing is,
y-
like
the thing is, yeah.
these are just talks. You know,
They were
I
just
like
talks. The thing is, he was good as Blade,
yeah.
and the characters kind of linked with him a lot, especially among
yeah,
older fans and all that. But
yeah,
it's Wesley Snipes.
yeah. I know.
That's the thing.
He's a bit mental,
He's a bit
and
just a bit.
now there is, as I said the other week, there is the option for him to do the new comic book character where he is actually training his 16-year-old daughter to be a vampire hunter.
Yeah,
Uh, where I don't know about doing that. It might be a bit those kind of things.
they never quite work
They never
out.
quite work past in the torch thing. But you never know.
Yeah,
Uh, they've been good enough to write, good enough at writing these kind of things so far, Marvel.
yeah,
Um, what someone would has suggested that I saw on some of the links here would actually be a great idea is to give him one movie where he does a kind of an Unforgiven, a last hurrah,
yeah,
and it
yeah.
doesn't
That'd be
link up
fine.
with any of the other movies at all. Like he's in the same universe,
Yeah,
but it doesn't really cross over or anything.
exactly. A bit like how the Incredible Hulk was kind of very only slightly crossed over.
Yeah, but a lot of those first ones didn't cross over,
Yeah, it
properly
was.
anyway.
Except this time, it'll be more intentional,
Yeah, but it's I think the
just in
only
case
comic
it goes
characters
wrong.
they'd have at the time that would work would maybe be crossing over with 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 Doctor Strange, but I don't even know about that because like it
Difference of
always seems
tone.
like in the Blade books, like they may have a slightly mystical effort to them, but they're more of a plague. The
Yeah,
vampires.
it's different tone. Question
Yeah.
different tone.
So unless like you get like some kind of like ancient mystical forefather, them but they did that in the first one, so you didn't
Yeah,
need any help there. Uh, just needed some anticoagulant darts. Uh, But yeah, no, I think that would be a better idea if they're going to do it. But I think passing the torch would have the same problem. Like, why bring
yeah,
Wesley Snipes as Blade, who would definitely be better, a more badass character than any 16-year-old Slayer.
yeah.
You know?
Like it's
Uh,
not impossible, but the problem is whenever you have like two characters like that, it always splits the narrative too much. Like obviously it's a ploy so we can keep this franchise going with a new actor,
yeah,
and it's the new actor is obviously going to do well enough to gain the other actors or other characters, sorry, respect.
I can't think of anywhere anything that's done properly.
Um,
Like you can't say
Indiana
Indiana
Jones doesn't really
Jones.
count, does it?
What?
Indiana Jones doesn't
Of
really
course it
count, does
isn't
it?
because they're not bringing
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf's character back. They're
No,
planning a new one with just
I was talking about Sean Connery, but sure, he isn't an established character.
yeah. Well, he was older than
Yeah.
Indy, so probably
Oh
not by
yeah,
that much really. But
they're
in
definitely
real life,
not
well,
bringing
it's
Shia
his
LaBeouf
dad.
back.
No, no, they're the it's so much. Even the movies took. He didn't take the hat at the end, so it's like
Yeah,
that was kind of like saying I'm not finished yet.
like no, not yours.
Yeah, no,
Um,
bad buff.
Let me think back a small bit. Let's see.
But yeah,
No,
no, no.
it
I don't think we'll see him more in any Indiana Jones movies anymore.
no. And
And
another
they're
example
still
would have
planning
been
to do an Indy 5. When it's
what?
going to happen, I don't know. Especially
What?
now with the Star Wars movies started up.
Yeah,
But no, I think if you're going, I think he's only got like one story left in him before he gets a bit too old. And if
too
you do the
Wesley
daughter thing,
Snipish.
you might have the same problem they had with Trinity, was bringing in
Yeah,
all these characters that overshadow him. Now there
exactly.
was loads
Yeah,
of the problems with Trinity, but that was one of one of the beginning problems,
yeah.
basically.
It diluted the story too much.
Yeah. Um. Whether you calm down from the Trinity days on set, like there's actually a video here of do yourself a favor and look up Patton Oswalt talking about Wesley Snipes going mental on the Blade Trinity set,
Yeah,
because he was one of the characters, and he I think he feels bad for being even in it because he's like head nerd. Like it's like
yeah.
one of the biggest nerd comedians out there. So it's like it's him and well, I've forgotten his name. I'll cut out that bit. uh, but yeah, uh, Brian Paulson,
Yeah.
who actually wrote Deadpool for a while.
Okay.
But we'll moving on to more '90s franchises. Uh, X Men Apocalypse is to be the last in the first class trilogy.
Mm.
Simon Kinberg says Simon Kinberg has been very noisy over the last between talking about Fantastic Four 2 is coming and all the bits and pieces
Don't
he's
know
been
about
saying.
that.
And I think he's even involved in all those Transformers and brain trust that they building over there as well.
Brain.
Yeah, well, no, they've
Why do
gotten
you
an
need a
awful lot.
brain trust for Transformers? In fairness,
What?
why do you need a brain trust for Transformers? It's not that complicated. Wait, do you mean the movies or the
The
comics?
movies.
Yeah, why do you need a brain trust for the
Well, the
movies?
movies weren't that complicated. You could get a lot more better stories out of the characters.
Yeah,
They haven't done it so far.
yeah, definitely not.
No,
Yeah,
but
yeah, you know what? You know what? I'd be with you. I would say like you could get some great stories out of Transformers movies.
you only have to read some of the comics. Like even the older Marvel stuff is great stuff.
Yeah,
Like
because it's space opera stuff. Like,
yeah, and
why
like
did they go so wrong? Why do they keep going back to Earth? Like, who cares about Earth? We see that every day.
well, it's not even Earth. It's just like they focus too much on they don't give the if they're gonna make it's like they're selling toys. Now I know the original cartoon was made to sell toys, but
Yeah,
it did have something else going for it. Like it actually kind of worked,
yeah.
and uh,
the, the cartoon wasn't exactly saintly ever. Like I'm thinking of the episode with Car Bomb.
yeah, they had
Yeah.
trouble there. Uh,
Like I'm not even that kind of the American cartoons. Like maybe even some of the. I'm gonna keep going back to them, but the mid 2000s anime series weren't too bad at all.
hmm,
Like
uh,
they had a great arc with Unicron and Starscream's death was pretty good.
yeah, no,
Like that made me
I'm
so
not ever
angry in
gonna
the
look at
films.
that, but though I did like Transformers animated, which was like early 2000s.
Oh, that was really
Transformers.
anime. That
What?
was like that had Megatron like transform into a two-headed King Ghidorah kind of thing.
No, you're thinking of something else.
Am I? Oh,
Yeah, there
like
was
the first ones I was on about was Armada, Energon, those
and
two were what
Cybertron,
I saw,
I think it was.
and Cybertron. I didn't see Cybertron, but I saw the other two.
Well, just after those, there was one called Transformers Animated, and it
Ah,
was
okay.
basically starting the story from the start.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
all the characters are really cartoony, like
yeah,
not even boxy. They were weirdly, you know. And they were, but some of the ideas they put into it like were great, and the characters are a lot of fun. And then there
yeah,
was Transformers Prime, which was kind of a computer animated um that computer animated one that kind of restarted again on Earth, but it was linked to the War on Cybertron continuity.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, but like all the War on Cybertron stuff happened well before this, so you could really go off on its own angle, you know.
But yeah,
Uh,
like there's a rich vein for stuff there. But
oh,
anyway, what were we talking about again?
but just Apocalypse being the last
Yeah,
of the first class trilogy. Don't get me
yeah.
started about Transformers. I know too much.
I know,
Uh,
I know.
but it looks like Simon Kinberg says this is going to be like pretty much finishing off the arc for all the characters that were there. Uh, so you've got like Mystique, Magneto, Charles Xavier, and Nick Beast. You've got all their story arcs will kind of culminate in this series.
Finish off.
Now
Yeah,
they might be in further ones, but it might focus more on the newer characters,
yeah.
because they're reintroducing characters like Cyclops and Jean Grey as young people.
Really?
Well, they all, yeah, they do have Cyclops and Jean Grey in
Jean Grey,
Apocalypse.
fine, but really, do they always have to go back to Cyclops?
He's a better character than they've ever done a good job of.
He's the worst. He's the worst character, like, even in the comics.
I would say a lot of people said he's got better since he went full on militant. He's almost acting like Magneto in
Yeah,
some ways now.
yeah, he'd work better as a villain, probably.
But I think he works bit. I think he's like a very like he's very anti-hero now. They've
Yeah,
turned like he's decided he has to bring a war to the he has to do this really hard and fast like Magneto would, in
yeah,
so much he's brought new Magneto into his group and separated from some of the other X-Men. Like there was that schism thing where Wolverine went off one way and rebuilt the school, and Cyclops and his gang went off to the island off San Francisco and made this like utopia for mutants. So from then on, like it's always been like Cyclops is kind of like the maverick freedom fighter, and
yeah,
can be looked on in a bad way as well, like for in that way,
yeah,
So they made it a bit interesting, more interesting that way.
yeah.
Uh,
But yeah,
who's
who else would they bring in for a
uh,
new generation?
well, they're all they're bringing in both of them in Apocalypse,
Yeah,
and they're
and
bringing
like
in
what other?
strangely Jubilee.
Eh,
A young Storm.
yeah, yeah, okay.
Psylocke is in it.
Psylocke, you mean?
So I never know how to bloody pronounce that name. Psylocke, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
the one with no clothes on most of the time.
well, if you remember the '90s swimsuit special, yes. Uh, but otherwise, she just mostly just showing her legs.
Yeah,
Uh, it's a tight outfit by all means.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, I think that's all I really know that are coming into it for that of the newer X Men.
What do you think? Who do you think they'll bring in for movie after this? You reckon?
Well, they've kind of already got all the three main that were in the original X Men movie.
Yeah,
You know, so
they might start just bringing in variations on
they
old
have already
characters.
got Beast in there, who in the third movie was pretty much you were pretty much given the idea that he was always with them.
Yeah,
He'd been with them before Wolverine came in.
yeah, yeah,
So I don't know whether they want to bring characters in they're bringing in Angel and making him Archangel in this one. So they're saying that the whole Days of Future Past changed the future a little bit.
yeah, yeah,
So he won't be the Angel that you saw in X-Men 3.
yeah. Because he was just kind of the like plot device in that one.
Yeah.
Although
Uh.
his first scene was pretty good,
Mm,
and then he just he just disappeared for the rest of the movie.
mm. Yeah. At least talked about that movie the best, the better.
Yeah,
Uh.
yeah, yeah,
Uh. There were one or two good things about it, but it was just like, after the first two were so good, like, or at
yeah.
least promising. Like I can't
Hopefully,
say they were
hopefully it'll
perfect.
just finish it off, and it will finish it off on just like not even a very high note, but like an acceptable note. We're like,
Well,
yeah, that should be okay.
either way, if it makes money, it's going to carry on.
Yeah,
I would just say the Kinberg is saying that it'll kind of thematically finish all the bits and pieces. Like it'll leave, it'll probably leave Magneto and Charles Xavier much the way at the point they were, but younger. The
yeah,
point they were when you like Magneto will go off in his own direction, and so will Charles Xavier. They might be much younger than they were in the first X Men movie,
yeah.
but it will set that up.
Did someone check up the timelines before Days of Future Past kind of changed everything? And
No,
it showed like Charles when he was like 2 years older. It goes from James McAvoy's hair to Patrick Stewart's bald in 2 years.
uh, No, but like apparently McAvoy's gone bald for this one. The
Yeah,
final episode. Yep. Somewhere in it, he loses his hair.
yeah.
Maybe he gets attacked by him apocalypse or something like mentally or something like that. I don't know how they'll set it up. Like, because I doubt if they just have him with a comb over at the start and slowly losing it.
Or they might just get rid of it from like before the film starts.
I think I've seen pictures of him with the hair in it though.
Maybe.
But we'll see, we'll see, we'll see.
Yeah.
What have we got next?
Yeah, next.
Uh, we've got John Wick 2 is starting filming.
Yay.
Now, the creators here said they don't want to like just make it just because the first one was a sleeper hit. Uh, they definitely have loads of great ideas for amping up the action, but they're
Yeah.
saying like they want to still make John likable, or you won't follow along. There's
Likeable.
well, you kind of
Well,
rooting for him. You know, you
yeah,
felt
you were rooting him. He lost his dog and his wife. Well, yeah, lost his wife. You're kind of
I think
like whatever. But the
I think the
puppy, the
dog was
puppy.
more like thematic of
But yeah, no, I
point
didn't
that
think.
he was trying to get. You know, the
But
dog.
I
It's
kind of
horrible
saw.
that they killed the dog. Okay, I'm not
Yeah,
saying that. I think it was just like the final straw of him, like
the dog got free.
giving giving up on trying to become like
A human,
a
like.
normal, good person. Like never
No,
going
but
back into that world.
I'm just saying, I love Keanu Reeves in it. I think John Wick is a cool character and all. But the real reason why I loved the film was because he lived in such an amoral world. Like it was just a world of assassins everywhere. That even the cops, like the best line in it, is when he clears out the house full of like assassins, and a cop just looks in and he says, "You working tonight, John?" And
Well,
everyone just,
they definitely have their own ethics. Like the whole thing
yeah,
with the safe house, the hotel and
the
everything.
hotel and stuff like that. Like
And
that
like
stuff I actually found quite interesting.
it's like he comes from a place where there's still honor among these people,
Yeah. And
and a lot of them have gone past that. But he's still that kind of honorable. I have a job. This is what I do.
yeah,
And I won't screw over anybody else with it. Like it's like that's how I work.
yeah. That was my
It's not.
favorite.
It's kind of a weird ethics. I know it's not more. It's morally dubious, but it's nice that he has a code of sorts and he
Yeah,
keeps to it. That's it. That's like how he's got integrity, even if it's a weird integrity.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Kinda. 'Cause he just won't let it go.
yeah,
I wouldn't let it go if someone killed my puppy.
yeah.
That'd be terrible.
You probably wouldn't have the amount of skills to go against
Probably
the
not.
Russian mafia, though.
But
To be
like
honest.
that's what I found so compelling about the film was just the crazy world that John lived in. Because
Yeah,
it was Keanu Reeves, he played him stoic, obviously, but that kind of worked because
yeah,
everyone around him was just like crazier, and he was just like psychopathic in a very different, quiet,
yeah.
subdued way.
Well, you do understand like why he's so. It does give a whole idea of how effective he was because he's this. He doesn't let anything phase him. Like he's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like once he decides on something, he continually goes out. He's not like letting his emotions throw him all over the place.
He's like a
Yeah.
Terminator that bleeds real blood.
Yes.
Yeah,
But also they did do make him vulnerable. He did was injured through part of it. At the end, at the start, you thought you might die by
yeah.
the end of it. You know.
And
So
he's like, oh, the
yeah.
puppy.
But
That was- it's just it's always like you want to reach their hearts, kill the dog.
yeah. But
But yeah, I'm looking forward to another one.
but there's always those disaster movies where you always see one dog get away. You
Yeah,
can't kill the dog in the disaster movie. It's like
millions of
they did it
millions.
in they did it uh, they did it in the last Avengers movie, for God's sake.
Try to
Dog
remember.
definitely got on that one of those shield ships.
Of course it did. But it's like the thing like a guy murders hundreds of living, breathing humans. No one cares.
Yeah.
Kill one dog.
Well, I just think I understand that to a degree because like if they're not kids, like
Yeah.
you
No,
you you,
no, it's
you
funny because it's so true. Like everyone just kind of doesn't like dogs or cats getting killed on screen. Like,
because they're essentially innocents. Like they don't understand like the
yeah, it's
what
like I'm just a stupid dog. Why are you killing me?
yeah it's like it's like it's not unlike killing a child
Yeah.
in that sense. Where I know
Although there's many like
humans as higher things, but in the same sense, they're innocents. They don't understand what's going on. They've got no stake in wherever they're being killed. you
yeah,
know, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, Relatively short existence to us as well. So,
yeah.
uh, um,
Especially if it's a puppy.
yeah, yeah. Uh, the Paul Feig's Ghostbusters not only has Janine Annie Potts doing a cameo,
Cool.
has er- Ernie Hudson, Winston Zedmore doing a cameo. So you've got pretty much
Also
all the
cool.
major characters,
Yeah.
except of course
Uh,
Harold Ramis.
one who is a very literal ghost right now.
Yes, though I think it would be horrible if they did a ghost that looked like him. I think that'd be too much,
Bad
especially in that
taste.
movie. I
Bad,
think
bad taste. Oh well.
I think in a sequel to the originals, it might kind of work. But if they just do it and go, we don't know who that is. I don't know. I don't know
I
if it'd be a good
they're
idea either way.
surely going to allude to it, aren't they? They can't let that pass up, can they?
I think they should.
But this is Hollywood we're talking about, and Hollywood has no shame. Like,
Yeah, but either way, it's only really Sigourney Weaver and Rick Moranis are the only key figures that haven't gonna have anything to do with this new film
yeah.
so
Well,
far.
Rick Moranis has nothing to do with anything really,
No,
but
no, he's just playing banjo music somewhere.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
he
yeah.
is
He's
giving
happy.
up
He's happy.
acting.
Actually, more the
Uh,
power to him. Like,
yeah,
but
is it
Sigourney
banjo music?
Weaver.
He might be
Sorry.
folk music, and I'm thinking of Steve Martin, who still does movies, but does the banjo music as well.
Yeah, and yeah, a load of like actors like that. Like, what's his name? Shawshank Redemption. Um, guy who played Andy Dufresne.
We're doing this again. That was the actor I was looking for in my head earlier on.
Anyway,
Yeah, anyway.
yeah. Um, but yeah,
Same
Sigourney
time.
Weaver not doing it, I'm kind of surprised.
Sorry,
Sigourney Weaver not doing a cameo or
she might be
anything.
just really busy. Like she's pretty
Maybe.
much
That's
always,
true. That's true. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
Like
mightn't be.
I don't think she's not looked for as the kind of the older tough woman
Yeah,
or the older character. She gets regular work.
she does. Yeah,
Yeah, but that's all. There's so much we can say about that until we see the movie. Like so
exactly.
it's
But
weird
yeah,
that they're
it's
gonna have
nice to know that they'll be there
Annie Potts in it as Janine. Well, not as Janine, but
in it anyway.
basically the Ghostbusters secretary in this is going to be Thor. Uh, so Thor, what's his name? Liam
Chris,
Hemsworth, Chris Hemsworth.
Chris is Thor. Liam is the brother, and they have a third one as well, who's an actor too.
Yeah, there's a third
Yeah.
one. There's another
Yes.
Hemsworth.
There's
Is
another Hemsworth. I am gonna look this up because I can't remember his name.
okay. Well,
Liam,
while
Chris,
when you're looking up that, I'll look up the
Luke,
next thing.
Luke.
What? Luke
Luke.
Hemsworth.
Yeah, I don't know if he's.
I don't think I've seen anything with him in it.
Oh, he's the short one. I think. Oh, that's lousy. He's the
Yeah,
short one.
yeah, short Hemsworth. Uh,
Yeah.
is he as built up as them, or can you see a picture there?
Uh, eh, relatively speaking, he looks a bit pudgier, but it's because he's shorter. He still looks pretty like buff and stuff, but
Yeah,
not as tall.
yeah. Well, we've gathered that. Uh,
Just Google Liam Chris Luke Hemsworth and you can get the images
yeah,
there.
but one thing I was it came up in the new episode of Rick and Morty. Now, you haven't seen that again, but there was a whole skit about Jan Michael Vincent. Do you know who that is?
No, who is he?
You'll only know him as the main character from Airwolf,
Oh wow.
right? Now, if you look up at some of the Jan
I
Michael,
am so embarrassed that I know what Airwolf is.
admittedly, I'm quite a bit older than you, Evan, so I would have been through all of these like
Yeah.
um, uh, magic car, magic
It just
vehicles.
it just tells you how
What?
I was just started laughing because it's magic car, magic helicopter, magic I don't know, dog or
But then
something.
no, there was Knight Rider. There was Street Hawk. Does anybody remember Street Hawk?
Like I remember when I was younger, I watched all of those first, and then I saw Dukes of Hazzard. I'm like, what? What's so special about them? Do they have a magic car? Is the car supposed to do something?
It
What's
is
going
kind of
on here?
magic. If you did that with a real car, the bottom of it would break every time you jump. In fact,
Yeah,
they had about 17 of those cars through
yeah, because they just kept going through the panels on the floor.
yeah.
But
The suspension just got broke up.
but yes, I actually watched a lot of when I was younger. I watched some pile of
Where,
80s reruns on
were you where
RTE.
were you into Daisy Duke?
Oh man, who wasn't? Grace, I hadn't even hit puberty and I knew what was going on. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
like,
There's some of those that you don't know quite know why you like them yet, and but you know there's a reason.
and then like
You know what? It was
years,
me. And now this is showing my age as well. It was me. It was the ZZ Top videos.
yeah,
All those
uh,
girls getting out of the hot rod and go, yeah, it
yeah.
feels slightly tingly. It's-
It's getting very personal now.
okay, we'll move on. But if you look at Jan Michael Vincent in any pictures when he was younger, he looks like he could be the Hemsworth's dad. Just look up
Yeah, Michael.
Jan as in Jan.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. Oh wow, he looks grumpy these days.
Oh no, he looks very unwell. Like he's had like some kind of substance problem. But
Oh,
look up the young photos where he
yeah,
looks
yeah.
like a
I see
surfer
what you
dude.
mean. I see what you mean.
Like he's thinner, but he's still like ripped as a thin guy. Like he's like you see all his muscle groups there. But like he's got like a very with his long hair especially he's got very Hemsworthy features.
I see what you mean.
I don't know.
Oh dear, this is weird stuff for my history. Oh wow, he lost a leg, did he?
I never heard that.
He seems to be missing a leg. Okay, yeah, this is depressing me. Let's move on.
Yes. Well, he doesn't need a leg to fly a superpowered helicopter.
Oh dear.
Uh,
You know
he
what?
doesn't.
If
He doesn't
if
have. He doesn't have Borgnine to fly with him though anymore. Poor
yeah,
Borgnine is well dead of at least 3 years ago. I remember Ernest Borgnine died about not that long ago.
yeah,
And if you want to see a really funny spaghetti superhero movie,
yeah.
it's basically made in Italy with Italian actors, all except Ernest Borgnine, that is, and dubbed over. It's called Super Fuzz or Super Snooper. You'll probably find out Super Fuzz in the
Sounds
American name.
familiar. Oh, Ernest Berg. Like, you keep throwing these names at me, and I keep googling them. He was pretty old. He did well.
Yeah, he was old enough when he was doing it. Like he was in like he was in the Wild Bunch.
Wow.
So, but look up that movie. It's like the most hilariously silly superhero movie you've ever seen in your life.
Super was it?
Super Fuzz or Super Snooper. Super Fuzz, as in like the name for the cops, like because he's a
Yeah, yeah,
superhero.
super fuzz. Yeah.
Alright. Uh,
Anyway, let's move on while I'm googling this.
yeah. Okay. first of all, we're gonna have a quick look at the Red Tornado as he's going to appear in Supergirl.
Okay, let's have a look
Um,
at this picture you sent
uh,
me now.
definitely taking some visual cues from the Vision,
Vision.
but I think Red Tornado often has like there was a character called the Tornado in the Golden Age, and they took the name off him, but then for the new Justice League comics, they made this character called the Red Tornado, who was a cyborg. So
Oh, very Vision.
very along the lines like, and they're also gonna have this guy Ido Goldberg, who was in Salem and Peaky Blinders,
Yeah,
uh,
that's a
playing
very
the
unfortunate
creator.
lighting choice they did. Like, this isn't a promo, is it?
Uh, it looks like it might be from camera, on set.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping because I was hoping it wasn't a promo, like because it
Yeah,
looks
because it might be
terrible for
color
a promo.
corrected, or there might be different lighting from where they're taking it. And,
Yeah,
um,
like it looks awful. No, it's not like the costume looks awful. It's that the lighting completely like shows it off. Like,
yeah, it,
well, he
it,
does look quite kind of cool and cool pose though.
yeah. I don't know about the shoulder pad efforts and the
Mm,
collar. They look like they could be more sewn in together.
yeah. Well,
Uh,
this was leaked, was it?
unless they're going to give him a cape, which I think he does actually have in
Oh
the
wait,
comics.
Warner Brothers
Maybe they're going to
shared
jingle
this.
in a cape later on.
Okay, Warner Brothers shared this. Like, why? It's not a great shot. It should have been done inside or something like that.
Mm.
They
Well,
should
either
have.
way, the actors.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just being picky now. Go on,
Oh,
sorry.
but have a look for it. Take an idea for yourself. Anybody that's listening. But he's also this actor is going to play Tio Morrow, Doctor Tio Morrow,
Doctor
which is a
Tomorrow.
horrible name.
Yeah.
Tio Morrow, uh,
Uh,
the creator of Red Tornado as well. So like
okay.
saying that he created Red Tornado in his image, kind of
His
thing. I would
image, yeah.
imagine. Um, but you'll have to see when it comes. Like it could be cleaned up quite a bit,
Yeah.
and it could be a whole lighting thing, or
Like I
could be.
know it's only for it
I have a
is
feeling that now that I see it, I think they're going to put a cape there because that
yeah,
looks weird. The
it
way his
does
collar is separate from his shoulder pads, and
yeah, it just looks really bad. I for a promo shot it should have looked a bit better, like I would have thought.
yeah. Well, we'll move off that. It's obviously scaring Evan. Uh,
Yeah. Anyway,
and now there was also a new trailer for Supergirl. A lot of the new stuff, but we'll let people watch that for themselves.
yeah.
And we'll go on to what's probably going to be our final story, is that they're planning a prequel series for Taken on NBC.
Oh, actually, when you say that, that doesn't sound too bad.
I'm just going to have a problem with the fact that they're going to use the term Taken in the title.
Yeah, well, that's just to draw numbers and stuff like that.
But
But
also,
I actually,
admittedly, he was like this kind of CIA
badass kind
troubleshooter
of guy.
type of guy, so that might be interesting. But like, it's like if they call it Taken, what's going to be taken? It's like someone took my pen. And he's there declaring that he wants his pen back. Is like,
We have to
and he's going,
to go to
I have
Boreal.
certain
Get
set
my
of
pen
skills,
back.
and one of them is calligraphy, and I can't do it without my pen.
But yeah, I was going to laugh at that, but prequel that actually kind of works because
No, no, could do.
obviously they could still mess it up, but there is a good mine of possibilities there.
Oh, they probably will.
Oh, they
But there
probably
is,
will, yeah.
it is the old CIA adventures of Ryan Mills wouldn't be a bad idea if done
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, and him and his buddies just like
Yeah, like
messing
you had a
about.
whole crew: mustache guy, baldy, uh,
Long haired guy.
long haired guy.
They weren't very memorable. But no, it's definitely like it could be possibly an alright show if they
Yeah.
do it right. not be stupid,
Yeah.
which is what Taken usually is.
Well, the third one was particularly stupid. I just don't hope they don't bring in Forrest Whitaker and his lunch related detective powers.
Oh dear,
It's like I told you about that, didn't
I don't want to be reminded.
I won't tell you. I'll tell you later because we definitely did it in the
I can
preview.
imagine. I can imagine. Like
Oh, Forrest Whitaker, you've
Forrest
fallen
Whitaker,
so low.
you were cool
You
once.
used to be Ghost Dog, man. Now you're a
uh,
ghost of your
what was
former dog, dog.
you probably talked about this. What was that thing that the guy from True Detective season one and Idris Elba were working on again? What's it called again? It's something about drug lords, was it?
No, I can't remember that. We're gonna
Get
have to look it up, I
back
think.
there. Idris Elba. It was it recently? Did it start or is it coming out soon?
I know we did a movie for Netflix, and it's gonna come out in the cinema first.
That might be it. Yeah.
And I think it's about Eddie Amin.
Yeah,
What
it
the
was
hell
like
did you find?
the first thing that comes up in his filmography is Finding Dory. I'm like, was that it? Beast of No Nation. That's what it is. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's the thing in Netflix. It's coming out as a movie. Like,
Yeah,
who did he play in it?
it says it's like unnamed African country, but it's like based on any kind of fucking civil war or something.
Oh right, so he's probably based
I mean,
on Mugabe or someone.
or fucking Coney or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, Coney wasn't as big a thing as they made out in that thing.
Yeah. Well,
If it's going to be anybody, it's
just
going to
from
be
what I'm looking
Mugabe
at here.
the Eddie Amin or something.
Yeah, but Kari Joji Fukunaga,
Oh, as you
that's
do.
the that's the guy over it. But
Gesundheit.
he
Uh,
was he the guy who did True Detective season one? Was he?
you're the one saying all this. I'm sure you'll
I
be able to click on him
I
and see.
thought you'd know. I thought you'd know. But
No, I'm sorry.
I've
I'm
heard as well that they're actually
wrong.
using actual kind of kids in war zones to play parts in it,
Oh, as you do.
as they do. Yeah, or
Uh,
maybe it was Nick Pizzolatto wrote them both. I don't know.
if you
Anyway,
be in our movie, we'll give you this bulletproof vest. Sorry, that was a bit evil.
that was
Uh,
oh dear. Anyway, yeah, that looks interesting. Beast of No Nation.
yeah. So
Because
that's actually coming out in the cinema first, and then it'll probably go straight to Netflix after that, rather than like
yeah, like
get a wide
only
release
Idris
on DVD.
Elba would make these. What do you call them? Like high shades, the big massive glasses that just hang low.
I
Only
think
he
it's
can
meant
make
to
them
be
look.
like yeah. I think that was a thing though in Africa around then. Like if it's gonna be Eddie, I mean like it's like
Yeah,
oh oh
I'll.
it's actually got the cross frames. It's a Frank Butcher job. It's got
Yeah,
cross frames.
like only Idris Elba can make those look sexy.
Hold on now. Do we need to get you a towel, Evan?
I know I'm getting all hot and bothered here.
Okay, well, yeah, I think that's all we can say about that. Other than like give Brian Mills back his pen.
Oh dear.
Don't give me that. It's behind the sofa. but
Anyway,
what kind of things are you planning for over the week? Do you think you might be able to get to?
over the week I have one or two comics that I must catch up on review wise.
Yeah,
More Mass Effect. Sleeping first tonight though, because I'm wrecked.
yeah, yeah.
uh, don't think there's anything else major then. Oh
Hmm.
yeah, I was playing Shovel Knight too. That's another game. You probably wouldn't know it. James might know
No,
it.
doesn't sound familiar to me.
It's like it's a throwback to 8-bit games, that kind of thing.
Ah, is on the store? Is it or
It's
is it
on
not a download?
PSN anyway. Yeah,
But there's a bit the one thing that all these next gen things has really brought in the whole indie gaming through the Xbox Live and PlayStation
yeah,
Store.
because they can't afford anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, we won't go on about your man Fish and his blow up. He
Oh,
was
that
a
was
famous.
years ago, man. That's
Yeah,
ancient history at this point.
yeah. Uh, but was the
I
first game
just
any
found a
good? Like,
picture. Uh,
what?
what was his one? Bez.
Yeah,
No, I
Fez.
didn't like it. Like
No?
some people liked it. I didn't. I thought it was meh.
Yeah.
But I just found a picture here of the Emmys when Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey were there, and Woody Harrelson, he looks like a dummy. Like he looks like it looks like they're playing ventriloquism with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm adding this so you can have a look. It's on the Facebook chat. It looks so weird.
There we go, Google. We're on Hangouts and we're still using Facebook to chat.
I know. I'm just yeah.
No, 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 screw them.
Oh God! Hopefully James will be back and will keep us in order.
But let's see. Let me have a look at this point. We might delete some of that chat in between. Let's have a look at this.
Aye, aye.
Oh, good. Let's see what Woody is looking like. Uh, it just looks like McConaughey just decided to mountain
Yeah.
and possibly given that he has so much use for hemp, Woody has smoked his own trousers. Uh, no, McConaughey looks a bit dazed as well. It's-
Yeah, I don't know. It's just such a weird photo.
it actually looks like I don't know which one is the ventriloquist dummy. Got back here.
That's
Uh,
true.
but
Yeah.
we won't talk about that too much because we'd have to give everybody a link on this. but
It's on the Wikipedia page
it's
for
on
True
the
Detective.
Wikipedia page for True.
True Detective, yeah. I
Detective.
would still watch that series too.
I still have to watch it. Yeah.
This is why I'm saying I'm just so bad at watching TV shows these
Well,
days.
there's a good few things I have watched. True Blood,
Well, yeah, I was never really interested in that.
People, American Horror Story,
Meh.
loads of stuff. Um, but I'm not really into horror anyway, so even though that's more psychological, I wouldn't necessarily go anywhere near
Yeah, yeah.
it. They're the kind of the let's see the kind of thing that we have over the week. Uh, I know there's going to be the big 50th issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that's meant to finish off most of the big storylines there. And
Yeah.
yeah, I can't say this is probably one of the best renditions of it. Certainly brings it into the restart for the new generation of readers,
Yeah.
and they're finishing off a lot of storylines and moving on to a next big stage with this double si- double sized 50th issue. So I'm wondering how that's going to end. Should get a chance to read it soon. Um, and that's about it as I can think. I still have to read uh, Hound, and as I said, following up with a good bit of Atomic Robo. Um,
Yeah.
there's a few things. There's a good few things I want to catch up on, but as far as movies, I might try to see if I can see Legend or something over the weekend.
Oh. Oh
Uh,
wait, which? Oh yeah, the new Legend rather than
yeah.
like
No,
Tim
no, no,
Curry one.
not the one where Tim Curry
Tom
plays
Cruise is in it.
twin and is the devil going through '60s London. Uh,
I must actually watch that one.
yeah,
That's the next film to watch, I'd say.
yeah.
Next cult film to watch.
Um, and also Heroes is back this week, so I'll be interested to see if that's even slightly good.
Wow.
I'm gonna give it a
Did
chance.
you ever think you'd be saying those words? Like,
Yeah, but I liked it. I even when it was getting bad, I still kind of liked it. But I knew all the stuff was wrong with it, but I still kind of enjoyed some of the characters.
yeah,
But yeah, it was because I was fond of it. It wasn't because of the quality hadn't dipped in a big way.
yeah, yeah,
Um, so hopefully given the big break and the mystery towards that, they do something nice things with it. But it's to be seen. Um, Yeah, well, that is about it. Other than like that premiere tomorrow, and I'll give you an idea what the Martian turns out like
Yeah, let us know
next
what
week.
you think.
Yeah. Spoilers. I think Marsden was involved. Uh, I'll get them out of the way. The spoilers now.
no,
Uh,
no, there'd be like conspiracy theories saying it
yeah.
was staged. It was staged.
Of course, it was staged.
Of
It's a
course, it was
movie.
staged. You fucking idiot.
But yeah, do you really think Matt Damon's been gone for 9 years?
God. Sometimes I'm not surprised either way.
Yeah. But no, no, that's all I can think of for the moment. But I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk when hopefully Chris uh, and or James will be back with us next week to
Yeah,
give us both their well toned comic knowledge and sided voice uh, in their own way. Uh, but in the meantime, I think we'll say goodbye there. How about yourself, Evan?
yeah.
Give the people a goodbye.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. Bye.
Nice.
Bye. Bye.